Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're jumping headfirst into the world of algorithms. We're going to meet two, let's call them problem-solving champions with totally different styles, the sprinter and the grandmaster.
So, picture this. It's a classic optimization problem, right? And it sets the stage perfectly for the two big strategies we're looking at today, the greedy approach and dynamic programming. These are our two champions, each with a completely different way of tackling a challenge.
All right, first up, let's meet our sprinter. This is the greedy algorithm. And this champion, it lives for the here and now. It's all about that immediate win, that quick score.
Yeah, its philosophy is, brutally simple. Make the best possible choice right now, and don't even think about looking back. It's all about grabbing that immediate reward without getting bogged down in what might happen later. And this approach makes it the perfect choice for certain kinds of problems. Those situations where making the best immediate choice actually does lead to the best overall result. In those cases, the sprinter's speed and its just raw simplicity, it's unbeatable.
Okay, so take something like scheduling movies for a film festival. The sprinter is totally in its element here. This strategy is perfect. Why? Well, think about it. By always picking the movie that finishes the earliest, you're maximizing the time you have left to schedule more movies. Every choice you make opens up the most possible options for the future. It's a simple, elegant, and in this case, a completely flawless winning move.
But of course, not all problems can be sprinted through, right? Some require a bit more foresight, a grandmaster's touch. And that's where our second champion, dynamic programming, enters the scene.
Now, our grandmaster is pretty much the complete opposite of the sprinter. It's patient, it's methodical, it is absolutely exhaustive. It explores every single possibility, solving every tiny little piece of the puzzle, and, this is key, remembering the solution, all to guarantee a perfect outcome. No exceptions. And this visual really gets to the heart of the grandmaster's thinking. It doesn't see a problem as just one single race. No, it sees it as a whole chain of interconnected decisions. It builds the path to that final goal by solving each small step perfectly, and then using those solutions to figure out the next move.
So, for the grandmaster strategy to work, it really relies on two key things. First, the problem needs to have what we call optimal substructure. It's a fancy term, but all it means is that the best solution to the big problem is built from the best solutions to its smaller parts. And second, it needs overlapping subproblems. This means you keep running into the same little problems over and over so you can solve them once, save the answer, and reuse it. That saves a massive amount of time.
Okay, so what happens when we pit our sprinter and our grandmaster against a problem where those quick snap decisions, well, they might not be enough?
This brings us to a classic, the 0-1 knapsack problem. Now remember, before we talked about filling a knapsack with gold dust? Well, this is different. Here, we're dealing with solid gold ingots. You can't just take half an ingot, it's all or nothing.
So here's our treasure. We've got 3 items, and our backpack can only hold 5 pounds. The greedy sprinter is going to take one look at that value per pound column and, you guessed it, make its move immediately.
So boom, the sprinter grabs item 1, it's got the highest value per pound. Then it grabs item 2. Now that fills up 3 pounds of its 5-pound capacity, and there's no way it can fit item 3. The total haul, $8. Not bad for a snap decision.
But the grandmaster, the one using dynamic programming, it's been patiently calculating all the combinations, and it finds the true optimal solution. It actually skips that highest value per pound item. Instead, it takes items 2 and 3. This perfectly fills the 5-pound capacity for a total value of $11. A clear win for the grandmaster.
And this just illustrates the fundamental difference so perfectly, doesn't it? The sprinter commits to its first, locally best choice, and then it's kind of locked in. But the grandmaster, it holds off. It considers all the paths until it knows for certain which one leads to the absolute best result.
Okay, so let's actually formalize this a bit. Let's break down the playbook for these two powerful problem solvers and really lay out their strengths and weaknesses side by side.
The really crucial point is this trade-off right here. The greedy algorithm, it gives you incredible speed and simplicity, but there's no guarantee you'll get the best answer. Dynamic programming, on the other hand, while it's often slower and definitely more complex, it promises you that perfect, optimal solution every single time.
And you know what? You see these strategies everywhere. A greedy sprinter is at work in a lot of GPS systems, just picking the next closest turn to get you there fast. But for really complex problems with huge consequences, I'm talking about things like analyzing DNA to find the longest common sequence between two strands for, say, genetic research, you absolutely need the exhaustive power of the Grandmaster.
So, okay, we've got these two powerful approaches. How in the world do we choose which champion to send into the ring?
And honestly, this is the most important takeaway of all. It's not about which one is better. It's not a competition. The real key is understanding the fundamental structure of your problem before you even write a single line of code. So if your problem has that special greedy choice property, where you know for a fact that the best local choice will always lead to the best overall result, then yeah, you unleash the sprinter. Let it run. But for those problems where perfection is mandatory and you know you can reuse solutions to smaller problems, that's when you need the Grandmaster's patient, exhaustive search.
So what's it going to be? Fast and good enough, or slow and perfect? Ultimately, understanding this trade-off, it isn't just the key to writing better algorithms, it's a really powerful way to think about problem solving in general. Thanks for joining us.